After killing Chen, Lu Fan rushes towards the princess and raises his hand to attack her. But the princess is very nervous seeing this and tries to stop him by putting her hand forward and says, "What do you want to do? Don't be too arrogant. My brother has come first in Takei, and if you try to touch me, my brother is here, and he will definitely hit you with twice the force." But Lu Fan ignores her words and immediately slaps the princess hard, making her move away and fall on the ground. And then Lu Fan turns to her and says, "If this happens, I will be indebted to your brother." The princess was lying on the ground, and her magic stick falls on the ground. Here the teacher, seeing this scene, says, "What is Lu Fan doing? Even if he wins, he still has to humiliate his opponent." And that's right, can such a cute little girl do this? Sub-Principal Zhao replies, "I don't know. If that is really the case, then why was she behaving like this? To dominate Chen Qian, who has a strong winning streak." And then she says that the international student is still too arrogant. And then he looks at them and tells them to shut up, and then he picks up his mic and simultaneously announces that the princess and Chan's team has lost, and Lu Fan and Jian Ying's team has won. And then he looks at the teacher and says, "Tell Lu Fan to come to my office immediately," and orders him to prepare for the next team match. There should be no disruption. The teacher looks at him and replies, "Okay." After a while, Lu Fan reaches Vice Principal Zhao's room, and Vice Principal Zhao stands facing the opposite direction and says, "I already knew that it was the Jin family's lawsuit that made you so angry. But I found out about you and Jinju Princess through Mr. Qin. How did you two quarrel? But you should remember that in the arena, it is not right to settle personal grievances. If you do that, we will be accused, it will seem so." Lu Fan looks at them and raises his hand and says, "I have also experienced Chan's loss, so I know very well that the princess was taking advantage of him." The vice principal looks at them and hands them a MacBook and says, "Don't pay attention to these things and think now that this is the reason. I called you because the principal and I saw your performance." Lu Fan is surprised and says, "Leave it because my performance has made you dissatisfied." Vice Principal Zhao smiles and points the MacBook to Lu Fan and says, "On the contrary, when you released those 2 dragon language magic of yours, the principal and I were already relieved about your participation in the national exam. And this is a high-level secret realm that Longdu Academy has discovered for you through the Secret Realm Hunters Guild. And you can choose one of them." Lu Fan takes the MacBook in his hand at the same time and thinks to himself that secret hunters have guilds that control resources just like material hunters. And then he looks at the tab where 2 secret worlds are shown, dives into the first world, in which the secret realm level is 45 and the secret difficulty is terrible. The limit on the number of people is 2 or more people, and the starting price starts at 350 coins. The second secret world, named Nightfire Baron, Nightmare, and secret area level is 50. Secret difficulty is Nightmare, and the number of people limit is 4 or more. Starting price is 76573 coins. Lu Fan points a finger towards another secret world and thinks to himself that secret hunters rely on discovering entrances to various secrets in exchange for high rewards. And then Principal Zhao looks at him and says that all secret hunters adopt the method of bidding high prices. Whoever you choose, the school will go to their association to bid for it. But the starting price here is too high, and then he puts his hand on his mouth. And after thinking for a few seconds, he says that Longdu Academy still does not take the national examiners lightly, and we will definitely take a picture of the resources we promised you. Lu Fan suddenly takes some blur in the MacBook and looks at Principal Zhao and says to him, "Just look at this." Vice Principal Zhao looks at him seriously, and he realizes it and says, "Oh well, you found what you like." Lu Fan shows him the MacBook. Here are the secrets of this secret world. It turns out that the name of this world is Philog Graveyard is. Secret area level 55, secret difficulty Nightmare. Number of people is limited to 2 or more. 5656 dragon coins. The teacher is shocked to see that the next day is the day of the freshman assessment rematch at the Lagandu Academy arena. And she says that today is the first game of the semi-final, which is team number 1 Lu Fan with Jianing versus team number 3 Jiang Feng Yu and Jinju. Then suddenly Vice Principal Zhao gestures them to keep quiet with his hand, and says I should announce that Lu Fan has withdrawn from the competition, and he will be rematched. Everyone is surprised to hear this. They feel that this announcement is wrong. Everyone starts discussing among themselves what happened. Why has Lu Fan withdrawn from the competition? I came here today especially to see him. Maybe it is because of yesterday's accident. Some people say who knows, it is not possible. This is nonsense. It is just a nuisance. On the other hand, Kim says that they should be left alone. Lu Fan and Jianing should have entered the secret area. On the other hand, Lu Fan and Jianing enter the secret area, and they are walking outside the Feilang Cemetery in the giant tree forest. Lu Fan says, "Sorry Zhang Yang, you can't continue the game because you teamed up with me." She replies, "The school said we can all keep our Qingyan quota the same. And right now I have 1 zizizin points, so there's no need to apologize." And then she says, "Thank you for being able to come to such a rare secret place." And then she says, "All the rewards in the secret area are yours, and the experience points are enough for me." Lu Fan replies, "I understand you don't like to repay the favor." Here this guy is sitting on the tree branch and sees Lu Fan and says, "Hey, who is that here?" Lu Fan says, "Who is this?" The boy jumps on the ground at the same time and says, "Don't panic." And he looks at them and smiles and shows his thumb and says, "I am from Secret Hunter's Glide. You guys can call me Black Rat." Lu Fan is surprised to hear him and says, "We are from Longdu Academy," and asks, "Are you going to the entrance of Shillong Cemetery?" The boy says, seeing the branch on Lu Fan's shoulder, and then he walks forward and points, and says, "Since you have got this, then come with me." And then he says, "My mission will end when I take you to the teleportation gate." And then he says, "Your Longdu University is really rich and powerful." And then he asks what level you both have to shoot at such an expensive secret place. Lu Fan looks at him and says, "I am level 25. And points backwards with his thumb, and he says she is level 24. Hearing Lu Fan's words, this boy gets surprised that he is only at level 25. "Are you crazy? This secret world is above level 55, a secret area with a nightmare. How can you even think of coming here?" And then he opens his system at the same time, and says, "I have to contact Longdu Academy to confirm. I think I made a mistake. I have sent 2 people to die. Those who do not have second rank." Lu Fan looks at them and says, "Black Rat, there is no need to waste time." Then suddenly a big tree starts falling next to them, and then they take the danger at the same time, and start running from there. Lu Fan holds Xiangling's hand and starts running very fast. Then suddenly they realize that there is someone else here besides us. And then they look back, and there is a very big Dragon King there. Lu Fan immediately gets into action. He looks at him with angry eyes. And then he uses his power, due to which a strong aura appears around him. And his hands start glowing, and he attacks the Dragon King with power. Friends, this chapter ends here. To watch the next chapter, subscribe to the channel, press the bell, and don't forget to like the video. See you in the next chapter. Till then, take care of yourself and your family.